So this lesson is called Communicating with Algebra, so algebra lingo. So the first blank, an algebraic expression that doesn't look good, but I tried. An algebraic expression is a mathematical sentence made up of letters and numbers that can be used to communicate mathematical ideas. It can be a single term or a combination of terms using addition or subtraction operators to separate the terms. So example here, 3x squared minus 2x plus 4. So each algebraic expression is composed of terms. T-E-R-M-S, composed of terms. Okay, and if we look up here, we have 3x squared, we have a negative 2x, and we have a positive 4. So these are algebraic expressions. Okay, for the expression above, so like I said, we have 3x squared. So we have the 3x squared, then we have 2x, and then we have 4. Okay. So each term has two parts. Okay, so the first part, this right here, is called the coefficient. And that's the number in front of the term. Okay, and then the other part is the variable. Okay, and this whole thing together is called a term. Okay, so a coefficient is the factor that multiplies a variable or the number in front of the variable. Okay, so that's what I was talking about right here, coefficient. Okay, so the coefficient here would be the 3, it would be the negative 2, and it would be the positive 4. Okay, next, a variable is a letter or symbol that is used to represent a number. So the variables here would be your x, and then your x right there. Okay, and then the last one, a term that does not have a variable is called a constant. Okay, and the constant in the same question is just that positive 4 at the very end. Okay, a polynomial is an algebraic expression composed of a number of terms. It can be classified according to the number of terms it has as well as its degree. Okay, so this whole thing is called a polynomial, okay, because it has many terms. So that's where this was. Okay, so the type of polynomial, the first one, if it has one term, it is called a monomial. Okay, and an example of a monomial could be like 2x squared, 3ab, okay, anything that's all just multiplied together. The one that has two terms is called a binomial. So an example of a binomial could be like 2x squared plus 3y. Okay, so we have one term here, the 2x squared, and then we have a positive 3y that is your second term. Okay, the third one that has three terms is called a trinomial. Okay, and then a trinomial would look like something like this, like 2x squared plus 3y plus 6z. Okay, so we have one term, which is 2x squared. Our second term is positive 3y, and our third one is positive 6z. Okay, and last but not least, 4 or more is called a polynomial. And that means many. Poly means many. Okay, so a polynomial. So let's do this. We'll do the 2x squared plus 3y. So we're actually just pulling all the ones from in front of us. Plus 6z, and then plus 5. Okay, or for a change, let's say minus 5. Okay, because you can have negatives in there. All right, so here's one term. Here's your second term. Here's your third term, and here's your fourth term. Okay, so the degree of a polynomial is the degree of the highest term. That's crucial, the highest term. Okay, graphically, the degree determines the shape of the function. So, excuse me. So on this one, you look at your variables. So if we look at this x, there's no exponent there, so it's a 1. Okay, and so that means that this one is a degree 1. Okay, and that would mean it is a straight line. The second one, we look here, the exponent on the x is a 2. Okay, so I'm going to write just D for degree. So degree 2. Okay, and that means we're going to have a U-shaped curve, which is called a parabola. The next one, we have a degree of 3, or an exponent 3. Okay, so that means it has a degree of 3. And that means it's cubic, so it'd have a shape, oops, that looks like this. Okay, and lastly, we have x to the exponent 4, which means it has a degree of 4. And something to the 4th degree would look like this. We will not be drawing anything like this, okay? But that's what the shape would look like. So when determining the degree of a polynomial, the degree of each term needs to be considered because the degree of the highest term is the degree for the entire polynomial. Okay, so down here, the degree of a term is the sum of the exponents on the variable in a term. Okay, so now we need to add the exponents on these variables. So this one right here, it's just x squared. So there's no other variable with it. So it has a degree of 2, and we can tell because that's x squared. The next one says 3y to the exponent 4. There's no other variables there, so its degree is 4. This next one, though, you'll notice it has a squared, so that one has a 2. And then there's a b. And remember I said if there's nothing with the b, it's a 1. So now we have to add 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1. So that means this one actually has a degree of 3. So determine the degree of each polynomial. Okay? So term with the highest degree. So if we look here, we look at our x. Okay? And there's no exponent, so it's just a 1. Okay? So x to the exponent 1. And that means it has a degree of 1. This next one, we are writing the highest, right? Highest degree. So this one has an x squared, and this one has just an x, which means it just has an exponent of 1. So the highest one would be 5x squared. And the degree of this polynomial would be 2. The next one, we have an m. Okay, so that one has an exponent of 1. This one has an exponent of 3, so that one is much higher. So the term with the highest degree would be the 2m cubed. And so the degree of this polynomial would be 3. These last two are tricky. Okay. So the first one, this says, okay, this cube should be up top here. So that's a cubed plus b squared. So this one right here would have a total of 5. Okay. The next one has a squared and b to the 5. So that one, 2 plus 5, would give us 7. So this one would be the term with the highest degree. So you're going to write in 8a squared b to the 5, and its degree would be 7, right? Because 2 plus 5 equals 7. Okay, and this last one right here, we have u squared and v to the 4. So 2 plus 4 gives us 6. This other one has a degree, x has a 1, and the y has a degree of 3. So 3 plus 1 gives us 4. So this one is going to be the highest degree. So that is the 2u squared v to the 4. And when you add 2 plus 4, this degree would be 6.